Hello, everyone, and good afternoon, and thanks for joining us today. This is Courtney with the LSA, and I'd like to welcome you all to our MarketingBitz webinar series. Today's webinar is titled The Digital Shift, How to Take Control of Your Online Information, and will be brought to you by our guest presenter, Rev from Yext. During the webinar, feel free to type any questions you may have in the question box on the screen, and following the presentation, Rev will answer those. The webinar will be recorded and available within 48 hours. We will email all of the registrants with a link. Can you go to the next slide, please? I also wanted to let everyone know that we do have a few MarketingBitz boot camps planned for later in the year. The dates haven't been solidified yet, but be on the lookout for those. And with that, let's get started. Over to you, Rev.
Awesome. Thank you, Courtney. So I want to wish a happy Jump for Jelly Beans Day to everybody out there. Yes, that is a national holiday. And for those of you who are fans of the literary universe, it is also actually Harry Potter's birthday. So thank you for joining us on this monumentous Jelly Bean and Harry Potter birthday type of occasion. Thank you for joining the webinar, How to Take Control of Your Online Information. We're going to talk about a tactic that could give you a 5 to 9% lift in your business. As well as how Google chooses what businesses to put on the map pack. But before we get into all of that, let's talk about why I'm here. So my name is Rev Ciencio, and I'm the Director of Industry Insights here at Yext. It's my job to help ensure the success of customers using the Yext Knowledge Network on behalf of their businesses. Now, don't worry about that. We'll get into it later. In my role, I basically get to take a look at what's happening out there in the world of digital marketing and use that to help people like you figure out how to get the best out of your digital marketing from a local perspective. So a little more on me. I'm a former agency owner. I'm a former New York City bar owner. And as you are about to find out, I am obsessed with food. Now, I know that you may not be a restaurant or hospitality owner or marketer, but many of the examples that I'm going to use today are food-based. Now, I do that in two reasons. If you haven't had lunch, I'm hoping to get you pretty hungry to have one. And also because we all eat, and it's a really easy way to frame up the topic of digital knowledge through this lens of food. So with that, let's answer our question. Rev, what the heck is digital knowledge? So digital knowledge is all the public facts about your brand, like your name, your address, your phone number, your hours of operation, your products, your services, your menus, any information that would live online for customers to search. And therefore, then digital knowledge management is actually the process by which you source or manage all of those public facts or digital knowledge and make them available to customers in the moments that matter. And so to explain this, I'm going to kind of walk you through a little story here. So for those of you that know me or have heard of me, I'm a bit of a food influencer here in New York City. And I often get invited to go to restaurants or to have agencies have me help their food brands get sort of exposure. The idea being that I would go in, take pictures of their food, share it on my Instagram account or other social media channels, and bring some awareness to the restaurant and driving in customers. Now, I want to talk about this particular one night when me and about 15 other influencers got invited to this really cool restaurant in New York City. They served us a 10-course meal, right, with a completely open bar. You know, they wanted to show the talents of the chef, the culinary team. They wanted to show what they could do with their cocktail program. And I'm sitting here eating all this delicious food and drinking all these drinks and thinking, wow, this is really good. Also, what is this costing them? I run the math, and I'm guessing it's about $150 a person, right? So this is essentially like a $3,000 marketing activation that they have going on. At one point, I get up from my seat, I walk over to the bar, and I start talking to the publicist for the restaurant. And she introduces me, right, to this guy. And he starts telling me all about their amazing cocktail program, right? He's their head mixologist. He goes on for, you know, I don't know, God knows how long, about these amazing cocktails, you know, where they source their bitters, where they get the ideas for their recipes, you know, all this time that they put into curating their cocktail menu, right? And I'm like, I get it. You're a cocktail bar, right? That's important to you. So he hands me the cocktail menu, and it's about the size of the Gideon's Bible. Now, it's a little lost on me because I'm like a whiskey neat guy, but I order a rye on the rocks, and instead of like continuing the conversation, I reach into my pocket and I pull up my iPhone, right? And I run a quick location scan on this bar, right? I want to know more about their digital knowledge, right? Now, the results are exactly as I expected, right? I look at the publicist and I go, hey, I want you to do me a favor. Can you take out your phone, open up a browser, and I want you to Google search best cocktail bar in Tribeca. Again, now we've discussed that this place wants to be known for cocktails. Tribeca is the neighborhood that we're in. And these are the results she got, okay? Guess what's not in the Google 3-pack? Okay, that bar's not there. I go, okay, that's fine. Let's click to expand that list. Let's go beyond the map pack. Let's go into the top 20. Excuse me, guys. Guess what's still not in this list, right? Now, when you do best in a search query like I have here, best cocktail bars, right? Google interprets the word best to mean a 4.0 or above rating, right? So I say, okay, well, let's do this. Let's remove the 4.0 rating and see what happens. By the way, you guys know who removes a 4.0 rating in a search, right? Literally nobody. So anyway, basically this bar still doesn't come up. What I'm trying to get at here is that if you search for anything about this bar other than their name, you're not going to find it, right? You're only going to find this bars if you search for it by name. But anything else that's important to them, like octopus or cocktails or private room, like all these other public facts. And the reason is they're not managing their digital knowledge. Now here at Yext, we call that a leaky budget, right? You've spent all this money and all this effort to try to brand your business around a certain concept or idea. And if somebody goes to search it and they can't find it, what was the point of that? So what I want to talk about now that you sort of get the story here is some stats, okay? Everybody loves numbers. That's a lie I just made up for the sake of telling the story. So 82% of local searchers follow up offline with an in-store visit, phone call, or purchase. That means 4 out of 5 people who search for a local business actually then take an action with intent to purchase, right? And then 3 out of 4 internet users are performing local searches. In fact, Google came out and said that they believe so much of the internet is about local search that they started to remove near me results. So if you've ever said, restaurant near me open now, you don't even need to put near me. Google just assumes it's near me, right? Because only 1 out of every 4 searches is not a near me search, right? And last stat I want to put in here is that 3 out of 5 local searches result in a purchase. So that's tying that first stat to the last stat. Why do I want you to care about these stats? Local search means intent. When somebody is searching for a business locally, their wallet is in their hand and they are ready to make a purchase. They are ready to spend money. Okay, now let's get into how this happened. So we are witnessing a major platform shift on the internet, and this is the bulk of what we're going to talk about today. The rise of AI services like Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant, all these new places where people are getting information about the internet, right? It used to be that when you search for something, what happens, right? You got 10 blue links on a page and we were happy and we clicked on a link and we went about our way. But now you just get one answer. Hey Siri, what's the nearest burger restaurant?
The closest one I found is the Watering Hole, which averages 3.5 stars and is moderately priced.
See, there's no visual answer there. There's no list. There's just a direct answer. There's no web results, right? For 20 years, the website was the centerpiece of a digital experience, right? But now we know that 73% of high intent traffic is happening off your website. Search engines, maps, apps, directories, voice, chat interfaces. They've all created these new channels where customers can engage with your brand, and they're making decisions about whether they're going to interact with your business or not on these third-party sites before they even get to your website. And so now it's just as important that you are managing your brand on these services just as you are on your own website, right? And the number of places where customers can interact with your brand, it's exploding and it continues to climb. It hasn't even been that long. Only 11 years ago did the iPhone come out, right? Look at the explosion of places where your business can live, whether it's Foursquare, Snapchat, or Waze, right? Now Amazon, Echo, right? And it's going to continue to expand. There's going to be more places that your information can live, okay? So let's talk about how all of these work to help me give you a little bit of an understanding. Now, each one of these has 3 layers. Now, I'm using Alexa here as an example, but they all work the same way, right? The first level is the UI. This is the user interface. This is what customers engage with. The next piece is the AI. This part decides what answers to give when somebody's doing the first search. And the last piece is a knowledge graph. Now, this is a brain lake database that contains everything that these intelligent services know about the world, including what they know about your business. Now, you can't control the UI or the AI of the future, but you can control what these services know about you with digital knowledge management, okay? Now, digital knowledge management, to get a little deeper than where we started, right? This gives you the structured data backend that you need to power your business across all of these services of today and the ones that are coming tomorrow. It helps you bring all those public facts about your brand together, you know, like your services, your location, your people, events, products, your company, and it puts it in one central repository. Then your digital knowledge manager, it powers those public facts on your website as well as all these direct marketing channels. Right? It puts you in control of your brand and your business on all these consumer services, which includes managing your public reputation, right? And finally, it helps you ensure that all the new chat and voice interfaces of the future give customers the right answers to their questions. So let's use an example. Let's say you're a local pizza shop, right? You change an item on your menu. All you do is drop it into your DKM and it updates everywhere at once, and you go back to whatever the other task is you had to do that day. Okay, businesses who deploy a DKM solution see a value in a number of distinct ways, right? The first is brand consistency and control. Now, sort of as we've discussed, right, without a DKM solution in place, you have no control over what these services are saying about your brand. When you control those facts, right, you control where they appear, you remove friction from the customer journey, right? People get what they need to know about your brand. The next piece, that's discoverability, right? Some people might call this SEO. You know, business with DKM see an increase in views in search, maps, apps, directories, right? That happens because those services are more confident in the data that they have about those businesses, right? So they're more likely to prioritize them to a consumer who's searching, right? Now, together, all of these add up to a better customer experience across the board. You know, new customers can find your brand easily. Current customers, right, or returning customers, right, they get to see your seasonal offers, right? They get to see your responses to the reviews, right? Everybody gets accurate information, right? And finally, digital knowledge management, it's going to improve your operational efficiency, right? If you're struggling to manage these facts about your business today without a DKM solution in place, you know, if you're spending hours and time trying to figure out how to update Yelp and Google and Waze and Apple Maps, right? DKM gives you the ability to do this easily, right, and from a scalable fashion, okay? Now, investing in DKM, you know, more people are going to see your brand when they search. We just sort of talked about it. It's going to give you more chances to win customers. And from some research that we've done, on average, companies who are investing in digital knowledge management are getting 49% more views after just 12 months. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, we went super high. We're going to bring it super low. We're going to stop with the internet gobbledygook, and we're going to answer some really important questions here after I take a sip of water. So if you've ever searched for something online or on your phone, you've seen a map pack, right? That's when Google surfaces a couple answers to your query, right? Let's talk about where this rubber hits the road, right? How does Google know what answers to put in the map pack? So when I say, where can I find curly fries in Willoughby, Ohio? Why does Arby's come up, or the Players Club? Okay, so I'm going to break this down for you. In 2016, Google came out and announced that they were going to consider 3 factors when giving local search results: relevance, distance, and prominence. Now, relevance, this is how well a local listing matches what somebody's looking for, right? In the where can I find curly fries near me, the relevant portion is curly fries. That's what I want, right? Distance, this is how far each search result is from the user. So again, I wrote near me in my search here, but you wouldn't have to. Google would just search that. But if I was searching in Rochester Hills, Michigan, or why not Mississippi, right, that's my distance. And the last piece is prominence, right? This is how well known and highly rated a location is. Now, I'm going to break these down for you, so don't feel like you didn't get them. We're going to take a second to break them down. Relevance. This is the top level piece, right? This refers to how well a local listing matches what somebody's searching for. So in this example, when I search best tacos near me, what do I want? I'm hungry. I'm looking for tacos. That is the relevant portion of the search. Now, how does Google know to choose Dos Toros Taqueria here, okay? There's nothing more important in local search than accuracy. The search engines, they're looking for information about your business, and they're checking to make sure it's the same everywhere in the web. That gives them a signal of confidence to give a result who's searching for a business like yours. So if Dos Toros Taqueria put their 295 Park Ave South on Yelp, but they had 259 Park Ave South on Google, right? And Yahoo sees that these inconsistencies are there, it's not going to make them feel confident in giving that answer to somebody. Does that make sense? I hope so. If the web crawlers see that that restaurant name is listed differently, or their phone number, or their hours, or their website on their Yelp page or Facebook page, right, they're going to score that business negatively in search. That accuracy point, all of the search engines, and whether it's a Google or a Yelp or a Siri, they're looking to make sure that there is consistency in information across the internet. That's how you give a good relevance signal. All right, everybody got that? Let's talk distance. This one seems pretty obvious, and it is. Google defines distance as how far is each potential search result from the location term used in a search. So again, in the best tacos near me example, the distance portion is near me, but it could be a city, a neighborhood, a zip code, an address, right? And again, if you don't put something in your search, it's just going to assume near me anyway, right? Last piece. Now this is where people get tripped up. I really want you to lock in here because this is the secret to winning in search, okay? Prominence. What does it mean? In a nutshell, a recent positive rating and review, okay? Prominence is defined as a business's reputation, which includes review count and rating. So what is Google saying there? They are literally ranking your business in that local pack based on the quality and the recency of your reviews. So if you're not managing your reviews, you're risking your business is even going to come up in search. So I'm going to give you an example. If I am standing in the middle of the street and there is a pizza shop on my left and a pizza shop on my right, okay, let's say they're managing their DKM, their hours, their phone number, all that stuff. It's correct everywhere. And essentially, they're basically the same business. They have the same menus, same prices, blah, blah, blah. If I search pizza near me and the restaurant on my right hasn't had a positive review in 3 weeks, and the restaurant on my left had a 4-star rating yesterday, which one's more likely to come up in search? You're right. It's the one on my left, right? That's the prominence factor. Okay, let's look at this another way. Who here has been to Hoboken, New Jersey? Now, I know you can't answer that question because I control the microphone, but there's a lot of pizza there. It's a very Italian-based neighborhood, okay? If you were going to do a Google search for best pizza in Italian, this is likely what you would see. You would get these 3 answers, okay? Now, would you rather go to a restaurant with a 4-star Facebook rating that hasn't had a new review in the past year, or one that got a 4-star rating last week, okay? Which one are you going to go to? Well, to me, the answer here is obvious. You're going to Johnny Pepperoni. Even though Frank's has 5 stars, right? Johnny Pepperoni has 4. Why is Johnny going to come up sooner? 239 reviews. It's a stronger signal. So for the same reason that you would choose Johnny is the same reason that Google would choose Johnny. There's more reviews and they're more recent. Now, let me tell you something. If you're ever in Hoboken, New Jersey, I highly recommend you go to Johnny Pepperoni. The pizza there is outstanding. I love it. It's cash only. Don't bring your credit card, okay? What I'm trying to press upon you is that the same way you would choose a business is the same way that Google or Yahoo or any of these other search engines will also choose a business. Okay, pause. Are you using social media to market your business? It's been reported that the half-life of a tweet can be as fast as 5 minutes, okay? Studies have also shown that a post on Facebook has a life expectancy of about 5 hours. So, but ratings and reviews, digital knowledge, these are forever. They're black and white, right? Local search happens in real time. I can tell you as somebody who's worked on social media campaigns professionally that I would deprioritize my social activity until I could validate the accuracy of my digital knowledge and start responding to reviews. If I go and Google best pizza near me and I go to a restaurant and I don't see pizza in any of their ratings, how does that give me a confidence signal that I want to go there? Meanwhile, you spent all day taking this picture of pizza and editing it in a photo and writing out this caption and putting together a coupon and all the social media effort, but people can't find what they're looking for. I think you're probably getting my point now, okay? So what is the impact of reviews? Now, clearly we just talked about the SEO portion of it, right? But online reviews have a huge impact on businesses and consumers. That impact, it can be positive or negative. For example, and we sort of alluded to this in the promotion of this webinar, right? Every star a business gets in their rating, every increase, their sales revenue will increase from approximately 5 to 9%. Okay. Now, at the same time, 22% of consumers are not going to purchase a product or service after reading only just one negative review, right? So not only do reviews have the ability to affect how you come up in search, but they help consumers make decisions, right? Hey, do I want to go to this business? Johnny Pepperoni has 239 reviews and Frank's only has 5. Which one am I going to, right? Let's say that both of them had 239 reviews and 4 stars. I would then want to go through the reviews and see what people are saying about the pizza. Did it make them happy? What was the service like? Right? Those help with the customer funnel, and those help with the customer journey. So while the point I want to make here is that while prominence does help your search, and that should be enough reason for you to do it, it has even more power to help you make more money. Okay, we got it now. We know how search works. The next time somebody asks you, how do answers get in the map pack, you can tell them this. The local business with more accurate data across all channels with more recent positive ratings and reviews has the best shot to come out on top of searches, right? So said another way, how do you win in local search? You need to manage your digital knowledge, and you need to manage your online reputation, okay? It said 58% of consumers have used voice search to find local businesses and the information in the last year alone. Many of these intelligent services, they're powered by voice now. Siri, Alexa, Cortana, Google Home, right? It's important that these systems have the right facts about your business. Not since the smartphone has any tech device been adopted as quickly as the smart speaker. And just to give you another stat, it's expected that 91 million people, right? That is 27% of the US population will be using a voice assistant at least once a month right now, right? That number is just going to increase. Hey Siri, restaurant good for kids with Wi-Fi available outdoor seating.
Ah, you're in luck. Farmer and the fish. Do you want that one?
How do you make sure your business is that answer? A, you need to get a playground that looks like this so my wife and I can take our kid there on the weekend. But B, you need to make sure that Google and Yelp and Bing have this information. That is digital knowledge management, okay? Now, voice searches, voice agents, this is just getting started. Soon these facts, these information about your brand, this digital knowledge, it's going to live in systems like self-driving cars from Uber and Tesla, and really far out, crazier places like drones, sensors, VR, smart clothing. You know, this whole concept, right, structured facts about your brand powering intelligent systems, it's going to expand to people. It's going to expand to events, menus, services, and your company. In other words, if you're managing your digital knowledge now, you are future-proofing your brand data. All right, Courtney, I hope we have time. I'm going to do one more example here, one more story, okay? Which of these burgers would you rather eat? The one on the left or the one on the right? Well, you could probably guess it's a trick question. This is actually the same restaurant, okay? Here's a better question. How do you think the owner would react if I showed him these side by side? Okay, he'd probably freak out on a staff member, a cook, for having a bad and inconsistent presentation with the one on the left, right? Because he'd tell me that consistency and customer service is super important. But what if I showed him this? Do you think he'd care about being consistent and having a bad presentation here? No, he'd probably blow me off. He'd probably say, no, search is not important. He relies on quality food, exceptional customer service, word of mouth, you know, these things that every business owner thinks they have, you know. But we know what word of mouth looks like in this day and age, right? Yes, a lot of one-star reviews on Yelp. Okay, point here is this has a bigger effect than it's ever had, right? And I surfaced this to bring attention to you how important it is that managing your reputation and your digital knowledge, you know, it's more than just coming up in the map pack. It's about the customer journey. Okay. All right. I'm going to pause here for a quick cup of water. Thank you. I talk pretty fast. Here's what you are waiting for. Now that you understand what digital knowledge is, why it's important, I'm going to talk through what are your options. Okay. You have 4. The first is do nothing. I assume if you're still on this webinar, that's not you. So we'll move on. First option after that is something called a manual update. Now, this is where you go from site to site to site, right? And like I said, your information lives on 80 to 100 of these online. And you get a username and password, and you update your information. Google, Yelp, Waze, Apple Maps, Bing, Foursquare, Facebook, TripAdvisor, all these places. Now, when you're doing that, make sure that you put the same information in each one, again, because you want to score for relevance. If you put Ave instead of Avenue in one and Avenue in the next one, but not Ave, you're going to be inconsistent. So that's an option. It's called a manual update. It's free. Go claim your listings, put your information, make sure you're updating them every month because they're going to change over time, but you have that option. Option number 2 is something called a data aggregator. Now, these are relatively inexpensive, but that's why they're known as hope and pray solutions. Let me explain. There is no guarantee that they'll update your data on all the publisher networks, right? So what happens is you go log into your dashboard and you put in all your digital knowledge, name, address, phone number, whatever, right? And they push it to an aggregator. These aggregators then take it to those intelligent services, you know, Yellow Pages, Yelp, Bing, Yahoo, Google, Facebook, right? And they give them that information. Now here's the key. Aggregators have to pay every time they upload data to the publishers, so they do it infrequently as possible, oftentimes less than 3 times a year. So example, it's December 21st. You just realized you're closed on Christmas Day and you want to update your hours of operation on all these sites. If you go into your aggregator and you put that information in and it doesn't update until March, what was the point, right? Let's say you got lucky. Let's say that you did go into your aggregator, you updated the information on December 21st, and it updated that same day as December 22nd. You're like, cool. Well, there is no guarantee that the publisher is going to actually then keep the data, right? That data can be changed by another user. It can be changed by their own source. It can be changed by other aggregators, right? So again, you don't have an assurance that that information is actually going to stay there. People can still go onto Yelp and Facebook and suggest different, operation hours for you. So anyway, I wanted to bring this up. It's an option. It's something you should know about. They do exist. The last option, well, that's why we built Yext, right? This is a cloud-based platform that puts you in control of all these public facts about your brand. Right now, we have like a rich set of APIs and robust workflows into all of these sites that is guaranteed to take your information. You can use it with multiple team members, right? You can store, manage, and update all these public facts about your brand. You can create landing pages for each of your locations if you have multiple locations. You have control of your listings. You can review and manage your reputation, right? And there's robust analytics that tells you how your brand is performing across hundreds of these endpoints, right? What's the goal for us? We want to capture everything that makes up your public brand, what you're about, the sum of your external facts, and we want to put you in control of your information everywhere in the digital world, okay? So what do I want you to walk away from here with? What should you leave today saying, hey, I spent all this time, what did I learn, okay? Search engines rely on a system of accuracy and relevancy to deliver search results, okay? Number one, now you know how search works. Number two, the local business with more accurate location data across all channels with more recent positive ratings and reviews has the best shot to come out on top of searches. Said another way, if you want to beat your competition in local search, you have to have control of your digital knowledge and you need to manage your ratings and reviews. All right, last thing, something else I want you to walk away with today. If you're wondering how I determined the location data was wrong for all these businesses or what information they needed to correct, here's the secret weapon. It's called the Yext Location Scan app. Now, it's free. Just go into the Apple Store or go via Google Play and download it. You can enter in information about your business or any other business you want, including your competitors, right? And you can see how inaccurate or accurate the business digital knowledge is across all those services. So it doesn't matter if you're using Yext or an aggregator or you're updating this manually, it'll at least give you some roadmap on what needs to be fixed or what's out of whack.
Okay, perfect. So that should do it. Thank you for conducting the webinar today, Rev, and thank you to everyone that attended. If you have any questions or you want to be connected with the speaker, just email us at info@marketingbitz.com. And be sure to take a look at what's upcoming on marketingbitz.com/webinars. Thanks, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much.